Welcome to this new video. So this time we are traveling to Alaska. So we went to Alaska in August, landed in Anchorage, started to drive to Homer in the south, went to visit the Katmai National Park, and then from there went to Seward, and finally finished in Denali to fly back from Anchorage. So that was a 7-day trip, and it was an amazing trip that we want to share with you. We landed in Anchorage and there was like a 3-hour drive to Homer, which is the starting point if you want to go to visit Katmai. Good morning everyone. So today is day 1. Look, she's still happy. She's still happy, so that means it's day 1. It's a bit cold, but it's okay. We'll survive day 1, I think. So what we did is we rented a Jeep with a rooftop where we can sleep in it. So on our first night we started cooking, and then the next day we went to Katmai National Park. So to go to Katmai, it's quite a journey. We had to take a seaplane. We had to split because of the weight, and that wasn't because I'm too heavy, but just for the management of the weight. So this trip is probably like one of the highlights. However, it's a bit expensive and you really need to plan it in advance. We just went for the day, but you have the option to stay overnight next to Brook Falls in the Katmai National Park. So not something we did, but I guess something that would be really interesting. Right from the moment when we arrived, we started to see bear with the cub on the beach, and then you head to the Brook Falls, which is a bridge where with waterfall and lots of bear are here to fish and catch salmon basically. So since there are a lot of people, you have basically a 30-minute slot. And sometimes they can even get really close to you. That one sneaked in at the last moment and people didn't see it. On our second day, we went to Seward. So Seward is on the coast side near Kenai Fjords. This is quite known for the bad weather, and that's what we face. So as you can see, we were cooking outside. Still amazing atmosphere because we were able to sleep close to the sea, which gave us a lot of opportunity to see, like for example in the morning there was a bald eagle that stayed there for a while. It's also quite known for visiting Exit Glacier. So we just went there, didn't go much further, but because again we were a bit short on time. If you still don't know how you will move around, I would recommend really to get a car with a tent on the top. That was amazing. It's easy to drive. Here we go, day 4. So we spent the first 3 days in the south of Anchorage. So mainly, let's say 1 day in Homer. We went to Katmai National Park to see the bears, and that was probably like one of the best experience. And then we went to Seward. So to be honest, we didn't get quite lucky with the weather so far. It has been raining quite a lot. So we had a tour that was planned to go on the sea, like to see like whales and orcas and stuff like that. But we had to shorter that trip because that was weather was not good. Now we just had like one night in Anchorage. So just to rest a bit, have a shower, because we couldn't take shower for the last 3 days. And now we are heading to Denali. So Denali should be really amazing. Still raining though, so we are hoping it's gonna get better. But let's see how it's gonna be. So on your way to Denali, you will find a small town called Talkeetna, which is a really nice, cute town where you can have good food, enjoy a good break on your way to Denali. So I would highly recommend that. For Denali, one of my recommendations would be definitely to book in advance, because this is peak season, July and August, and you don't have that many accommodation. Within the park you will find 2 campgrounds, and outside the park there might be multiple ones. We stayed outside, but I think inside would have been really nice. There is probably more chance to encounter wildlife when you are inside the park. Since not all the vehicles are allowed everywhere in the park, I would say the park compared to many of the parks I went is pretty wild. So that's great somehow because it's really natural, but also sometimes it can also limit you. You will find lots of wildlife, so just open your eyes and enjoy every single square of the park. And good morning. So we are now in the Denali National Park. So basically this park is pretty straightforward because you only have one road, and that road you are limited with your car up to mile 13. After that you can go by bus up to mile 43, which is where it stops anyway. So you take the bus and it's like hop on, hop off. So now we just hopped off and we are walking on the road. That's an option. There was a bear with 3 cubs like maybe 1 mile away. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, we have the bear spray here, and yeah, just need to be careful. There are lots of treks inside the park, but you can also walk on the main road, and this is what we did one of the day, which was quite nice because sometimes you get to see wildlife from a bit closer and just, you know, enjoying the sceneries. It's not every day also that you can see the Denali mountain from the road, so could be a good time if you are on a lucky day to see the mountain and just like stop and enjoy it rather than being on a bus. And by the way, only 30% of visitors are able to see the Denali mountain from the park because it's quite foggy most of the time. So yeah, if you see it, you're lucky. Every night we were spending in the camp, always, you know, nice to be in the nature, being able to cook our own food. You have like a place where you can buy like a little bit of food as well within the camp, so that helps. And again, make sure you don't leave anything outside because the bears are everywhere. On our last day, we decided to try the fat truck, which was like quite interesting for us as it was the first time we can see this kind of vehicle. It was an activity that we did outside of the park, but still quite close to Denali National Park, just on a different side. So we just went with the vehicle and some like area we couldn't have access with our car. Quite noisy. This is why we were wearing like a headset, but the crazy thing is that it can go in the water, so it can float, and we went inside of a lake just to showcase how does it work. That was really impressive. And here we are, end of the trip. So now we are on the way back to Anchorage. We just spent like 3 great days in Denali. So right now, weather-wise, not great at all. It keeps raining. But to be honest, once we were there, we were pretty lucky. Maybe except today, that wasn't the best. It's really an amazing experience. I would really recommend to do it. So what we did is we camped in the Riley campground, which is just by the park. And then from there, you have access to everything. So one of the things to know is that as part of the park, one part is closed, so that kind of limits what you can do. You mainly have to use like the transportation from the park. My recommendation would be to take the hop-on, hop-off bus rather than the Tundra Wilderness bus, which wasn't really the best, to be honest. So this is something you should do. What we did this morning that was really amazing is the big fat truck. So we went outside of the park, driving into outside the park, like with big fat truck, and we saw black bear. It was really interesting experience. In the park, to be honest, we were quite lucky. We saw bear, moose, caribou. Didn't see any wolf, but yeah, the chance to see it is really low. And we got to see the Denali mountain, which is like not many people that can see. Not fully, but we saw it pretty well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now driving back to Anchorage, and then on to next adventure.